Hello, everyone. My name is Glenn, and I want to welcome you to our Database Cleanup and Organization 101. I'm a little bit slow on the coffee this morning because it's getting darker now in the mornings, and I'm waking up to it being dark, so I'm having trouble waking up fully. So bear with me while I was getting everything set up and ready. I want to make sure that I do a good webinar for you and not look like a tired raccoon or something that hasn't had enough sleep. So I do see that people are letting us know that they're there. Are you hearing me now that I've actually unmuted my microphone? Am I coming through clear? And a big hello to everybody out there. You can see me too. Oh, okay. I didn't break the camera by turning it on. That's good to know, Christine. Thanks. So today we're going to try to have a little bit of fun. And if you do notice me looking off to the side there, I am reading your chat information on another screen. Typical tech, I have 3 computer screens right here in front of me. So I do look around and take information there. Awesome. So I do see we got a lot of people in today. We do have a few things to go over today. So I'm going to try to keep it quick, try to keep it under half an hour, but please make sure that if you do happen to miss something, you let me know. I do have a tendency to get excited about our stuff because I really love the information we have here in Top Producer and I love the direction we're going. So if I do seem to get a little too excited and go fast, the words to say in chat are slow down, boy, and I'll slow down. So I'm good with that. I will get a direct message from Christine telling me that too. So awesome. So I see everyone's letting us know where they're from, and good morning, good afternoon. Christine and I are both here on the west coast of Canada in the lovely Greater Vancouver area. I do see we have a lot of fellow Canadians and fellow Americans. We are about, my area, I'm about 20 minutes away from the border. So if I want to go to Washington, and especially since I have my Nexus, which allows me to get through faster, I just zip over and go. So we are brothers and sisters here in the world. Ansha, that's a great question. And the answer is yes, we are still working on it. I just happen to know that because I was looking at it yesterday. However, with that, you're all here to see about Database Cleanup and Organization 101. So what do you say we get into that and start going? Any questions? I will answer at the end, even if it's not related to the topic. So let's get into this. Although, drum roll, and in case you missed it, it does relate to the question I just got, which if your market is not working on the snapshot yet, this will be something that doesn't matter to you. But for those of you that are using our market snapshot, we're now sending it through your email instead of our system. What this is and from our testing, is we're getting double or triple deliverability. In the past, because of the fact that it was coming from our servers, it would sometimes end up in the spam folder. No more with it going through your email. So great change and a great update to that. If you don't have Market Snapshot, let us know. We can have somebody reach out to you if you're interested, and you can get a demo on it to see how it would work if your MLS supports it. I figured I better put that in there just in case. The other one great release was the highly requested relationships in Top Producer X. So now you don't have to worry about it. You can actually create your relationships. You can add people. So if you go like in here, you've got a parent, friend, spouse, and child for the contact of Logan. You can now connect them. And when you do need to send an email or something out, you will be able to see it. You'll be able to have a suggestion to have that person come up as part of the email, meaning you can either send it or not send it. So these are definitely things that are new advances, new features, and helpful requests that everybody has looked for. So I'm going to get started. Just a note, we do know that a lot of people are still using both our version. Let me try that again. We do know people are using both versions of our software, Top Producer X and Top Producer Classic, also known as 8i. Now, these tips are going to work across both platforms. Organization and contact. Well, we'll just go with organization. Organization is pretty much the same across both platforms. So you can use the information that we're showing here today in 8i. Now it is going to look a little different because we will be using X for all the information. However, the verbiage is still pretty much the same. All right, so let's go into it. We all know this. This is organized database is a profitable one. When you have your database organized, you can find the contacts you need to work with, find the information from those contacts, and also find out which contacts are high priority, low priority, or somebody that you can put into a future, say that you won't have to work with them for quite a while. This is something to be able to allow you to organize your marketing strategies, and who you're going to be talking to on a daily basis. So the question is, what are the best ways to organize a database to make it profitable? Tip number 1, last touch column in your contacts list. You want to click on it. You'll notice we've got it circled here. You click on it so that it shows the oldest to most recent. What this allows you to do is see who you haven't talked to in a while. That way you can see, like, this is probably a screenshot from one of my test accounts, which you can see it's a good thing I'm a tech and not a realtor, since I haven't spoken to these 4 contacts in 4.5 years. The more information you have and the better info you have showing the status and the last touch, like, thankfully they're closed, but I should still be reaching out. I should still be letting them know that I'm still around, and that way I can get references or repeat business or their family members who need me. So you want to click on the last touch. So let me get over into my TPX, and we'll go over to engage. It looks like mine's showing last action instead, but it's basically the same item. But if you click on this, you can see that some of these, I'm not too bad because December 8th. But then you just go back. And that's how you want to do it. You want to use last touch. Like I said, I think mine is still got a cached issue. So I'll have to clear out my cache later to clear that up. But you will see last touch. Yours shows last action as well. Oh, I'm sorry. We need to upgrade our screenshot, Christine. I totally forgot about that. Yes, this was an update we had done because we had changed it from last touch to last action, because we also added in the last response. Hey, good catch on that, Randy. Thank you for telling me that yours showed the same thing. Had me thinking I was losing my mind. Let me reset myself just a second here. The screenshot we will update. Thanks for showing us. The tips applies. Yes, thanks. You can imagine both Christine and I are laughing at ourselves for getting that one. Last touch is last action now. This actually shows that the last action is the one that you have done most recently, or the farthest one out. So again, you can click on it in the order and it'll bring the right ones up. Last response is the last time they responded back to you. This is specifically important for the fact that if you have people that are getting emails and texts from you, it'd be good to see when the last time they responded back to you. So yeah, sorry about that, but fortunately we're able to get this to look better. I'm going to go to the next screen so that I get rid of that. Now, the follow-up coach. This is a wonderful, wonderful, helpful tool that we have built into Top Producer. One of the best advantages of this, and again, I'll jump over to my Top Producer and go up to my follow-up coach. One of the best things about Dave, how have I lost you? What have I lost you on? I'll go back. If I've lost you, I want to make sure I don't lose you for long. And if I've lost you, maybe it's other people I've lost as well. Oh, okay. So the screenshot we had actually said last touch instead of last action. That's the only difference, Dave. It's the last action. Instead of saying last touch, ignore the screenshot that was there. The last action is the one you want to do. So you can click on this to get the different dates and times. Last response has been added in so you can see when somebody replied back. Hopefully that makes sense. We do apologize for that screenshot being out of date. This is the most up-to-date information. Gene has replied back from replying to a text message you've sent out or sent out a email to, and they've replied back. Thank you, Christine. Yes, this will be just being shown in X. However, all this stuff can still be found in 8i, and you can still do the exact same information. So let me get back to the follow-up coach. This is a very important tool, mainly because you can actually see what status your clients are in. So let's see, I've got all these people who are new contacts, and I haven't done anything with them. So let me click on follow-up here for this contact. So Testy Test here, or Testy, he has just been talking to me for a bit and new information. So I want to go to the dashboard and set him up as a engaged contact. This way I can say that they were working out. And I did a couple of items like testing again on a Mac, call for birthday and test, and testing. This, again, my testing account. And I use both PC and Mac just because I know that a lot of people are using the different platforms. So you can see the last action, just change the status change to engage. That's going to tell me exactly what I've done and put this closer to the bottom of the list because it's a new person. So I've changed it to engage. I'm going to wrap this up. I don't need to schedule a follow-up, so I'm just going to save the wrap up. Now, again, the one thing to keep in mind here, wrap up is down here at the bottom. Once you click on it, you can say you did a task of a specific type, call, email, text, or snapshot. You'll see these options here. And then you can put a note in if you want. And I'll just put a note of testing on the webinar. Would help if I could type. And then I don't really need to schedule another follow-up. This is a test account, of course, but if you want to, you can schedule a call, appointment, or a to-do. And then say wrap up. And you'll notice here right away, my note is showing. Now, let me go back here. So now that I've done that, when I close this, you're going to see it's completed. That's just one of 5, and I was able to take care of that in less than a minute. Now, imagine if you did 5 a day. Most agents I know work more than 300 days of the year. A lot of you, I've had a couple where they told me they maybe take Christmas, Labor Day, and Memorial Day off. So you're working a lot. If you do the follow-up of 5 people per day, you're hitting a minimum of 1,500 people a year. Imagine how much repeat business, referrals, and just family members that you can get just by talking to people, 1,500 people in 1 year. So follow-up coach, 100% great tool. One of those few little ones that we've created that we think are pretty awesome. That, well, not one of the few, all of our stuff is awesome, but it's one that's a little bit different than most people have out there. And it's specifically designed to help you with your follow-up. So let's go on to the next option. Tagging contacts. We all know a contact type is super important. So having a contact type, buyer, seller, or your sphere, or even buyers from 2020, buyers from 2021, having that contact type is going to allow you to organize people and find them the way you want. Now let's go back over to Top Producer. Let's just say I have a search up here. I want to do my buyers. So you have to do the is, and then put in buyer. And when I click on this, I have all these people. Now, you can see, again, you can use the last action to see the last time I spoke to them. Apparently, I'm not even talking to myself anymore since the 15th of July this year is the last time I did anything with me. But this is another way, and you can also just set yourself up to do a group email. Apply a task plan. Or if you all of a sudden realize that these are a special group, you could add a new contact type. So let's go webinar group. Let's create a new tag of webinar group and add it and click on the thing. And you'll notice all of a sudden webinar group is there. Cindy has a very good question. Why do you need to type is before type? This is because the search is still being refined. This is a special character search. By putting the is with the colon there, you're able to tell it that you're looking for a contact type. Please keep in mind the search is going to be improved. We do like the advanced search we had over in 8i. We're looking to make the search even better within X. For now, this is just a temporary way of doing it with the is. Yeah, it's just in X. Once you do that there, you'll be able to get all of your buyers or all of your contacts. So it's just a temporary thing. Once we get an advanced search over in X, you probably will, hopefully, knock on wood, we'll never have to do that again. I am expecting it to be removed as well. Bob Depew asks, why is there no way to do group deletes? That's on the way. Mass updates is being done in or being added to X shortly. I don't have an exact time frame, but it is something that was super important, and we are looking to get that out there. How many emails and how many people can you email to once as far as mass emails? In Top Producer X, we do something called group emails. This is a little bit different as we have had to limit it to 100 per email sent. Now, there is a caveat to that. In the past, Top Producer had a 1,000 email limit per day. This was because it was going through our servers. Emails now don't go through our servers on the Top Producer X platform. They go through your email provider. With that in mind, you want to double check with them to see what your specific plan, be it a free plan with Gmail or another provider, or a business plan. You want to see how many emails you are allowed to send through their servers per day. You do have to send it in one or in batches of 100. However, if your provider says you could send 2,000 emails a day, that means you can send 2,000 emails a day. Let me see. Yep. So that should help. And I'm going to have a very happy answer to one of the questions here. Joa, is that supposed to be Joshua? If I'm saying your name wrong, please forgive me. We were using 8, now X. Our contacts entered in X viewable in 8 versus vice versa. Yes. Your databases are the same across. Dennis asks, is there a way to delete me emails or text send? Absolutely. I can take a look at that and show you right here. So when you do an email, which would, here, let me log out of this one. I think I'm in the wrong. Yeah, I'm in the wrong account. Let me go into this one. Because this one actually has email setup. Give it a second to actually show. Because I do know I have it set up. There we go. It's running now. So when you have an email to go out, say on a task, I'm going to apply a plan real quick just to have one there. I would pick the one that doesn't have any emails, wouldn't I? I want to do it from a plan or a task plan here because it is much better. But, well, here, let's just create a task. We'll create an email task and title cast. I can have it go out tomorrow, and I can set the time I want it to go out, and I can send the actual time. Texts on plans are exactly the same way. You can do that. You can send them out without any problems. So I hope that helps. I know we're getting a little bit off topic here, but I do have a couple other direct questions. Why is the first name required in X and 8i is not also property address and 8i have different fields? New contact. Erica, that's one of those ones that we were working on. to try to get things more in line. One of the things that we are trying to do is make X a lot more easy to use. Less steps, easier to get to where you're looking for, and also to make sure that you get the information you need. So hopefully that one helps out. Yeah, it does make it difficult to search that stuff up in 8i. However, there are ways to do it. I would have to take a look and see if I could find a good way to do that one for you. So I have another 2 questions. How do I search on buyers looking in certain cities or price range? Once we get that advanced search into X, you'll be able to do that. And another question, what is the advantage of using X over 8i? This comes down to a personal preference. Now, I'm going to say my reasons for preferring X over 8i. The interface is simpler to use. It has everything in one place. And when you open up a contact, you have everything is able to be seen in one spot without having to jump through different areas and jump over into different locations. The other major advantages, email integration. Because of the fact that you're using your web server or your web provider's location, web provider, English, your email provider servers, you're not at the mercy of our servers. Our servers, they would get a lot of email per day, and we have not got it set up just to be an email server. Whereas, if you look at somebody like Gmail, Microsoft, Apple, they have dedicated email servers. So sending through their server means better deliverability, faster speed of use, and also it shows up not saying sent on behalf of you from Top Producer. That is one of those things that really makes it so that they're seeing your information and not ours. The calendar sync has been updated. It works. I don't have it set up on my account, but it works better and it works with more companies. In the past, we could do a Google one and that was it. Now we can do Google, Microsoft, and Apple. Contact sync as well. I do have it set up on here. The other account I don't have set up, but I can set up, and if I make changes in my Gmail account, because this is a Gmail account connected, it will update in Top Producer X. If I make contact or changes to somebody that's synchronizing in my system, if I make the changes in X, they go up to 8 or up to Gmail as well. And for those of us in the US, it's one of those things that you would definitely want to have as texting. So that will help. But again, I've been pulled off of and very easily pulled off of track. So let's get back over here. So again, the contact types, we've gone over that. Getting them set up is one of those things that will help out big time. And I stopped for some messages because they were very important and quickies. I'm going to wait a little bit and answer more at the end. I'd like to get this information out there, and then I can answer the questions. I hope that's okay with everybody. Now, one of the other things you want to do is when you're tagging your contacts, you also want to make sure you look at where they're coming from. You're buying those leads, you might as well be able to see if you're actually getting return on your investment. Now, Top Producer can connect to 150 plus lead providers, and you will be able to actually see on the contact the lead source. Having that lead source show up right there for you will let you know where you're getting most of your leads from. And this is something that if you add a contact in yourself, you could, as it'll say here on my screen, select other to add a new lead source. If you're getting them from a specific open house or a specific location that you add, like a convention or something, you can create that brand new lead source to allow the people that you've had show up into that source. This helps you organize, make sure everything is straight, and know when and who to reach out to. That one's pretty basic, pretty simple. So we'll go on to the next one, because these contact types and tagging are very, very important and very useful to your daily flow. Another contact type, the contact statuses or contact tip, the statuses. The pipeline status is a super valuable tool. As you can see, we have these 5 that are the most important ones to think about. A new contact, somebody you've just got, you're going to really want to be reaching out and taking care of that contact right away. They are the people who are going to keep you going. They're going to get you new information, and they are going to be future reference and resell opportunities. An engaged person is somebody that you're talking to, and you're going to start looking into finding information for them, and perhaps even finding that dream home for them, or helping them sell their home that they have now because they may be moving out of state or a province, or even out of the country. Future is a great status because you can actually put that in and say, they're not ready right now. They were just testing the waters. They wanted to see what was going on and what you were capable of. Now that you've wowed them and they know they've got the best agent possible, they may not be ready now, but as long as you keep a little bit of information with them, which is great with a market snapshot or just general emails letting them know what's going on in the area, when they are ready, they're going to come to you because you are the expert. Active, that's one of my favorite statuses because that means you're actually working with them, looking up homes, taking them, showing them around, getting to do the thing that, I mean, you guys are the best at. You're great at finding the homes. You're great at finding the home that'll work for that client. And even when they give you some incredibly difficult requirements, you're able to find what is possible within what they're able to, within their means. So the active status is the fun one, is where you get to do things and take care of people and get out there and show them the expertise. And finally, the one we all want, closed. You have finalized it, you've gotten them into their new house or sold it, and you're able to say to them, hey, this is great. I'm glad we could get you in. Let us know if you got anything else you want to do. We'll talk to you in a few years when you're ready to move again. And if you have any referrals or a family, let me know. So these are great ways to do it just so that they're in the right place. And that way you know who's where, what status you've done, and what you've done with them. Now, there are some contact types that over the years I've seen a lot of other agents use, and they are really great ones that I'm sure most of you have already got your own type. So it doesn't have to be exactly like this. You may have your own naming convention, but we do have people that will put it into A, B, C, D categories. A category, somebody is pre-approved and they want to put an offer in within 3 months. You put them in there so they're one of the more actively running and the ones that you're actively working with. You could put then a B, where if they are active and will be putting in within the next 3 months, but aren't pre-approved. This is the advantage. If they're not pre-approved, you can always make sure to remind them. It helps to be able to make that offer if you have pre-approval. That way they don't get the unexpected thing at the end where they've got the house of their dreams, but it's not within their means. So that's a good way to categorize them as well. Now this goes back, the next two go into your future categories. Looking to put in an offer in 3 to 6 months, we're looking to put in an offer 6 months or later. This means these are the ones that you will not be having to send as much information to or as constant to. You're going to be keeping them informed, let them know what's going on in the area, let them know what's going on in the mortgages. I mean, if they're not pre-approved, if the interest rates go up or go down, you can keep them informed so they may change their mind on how long they want to go. Definitely a good way to have it. And it's just like doing a regular contact type. You just add a contact type of A or B or C or D or whatever naming convention you want. So it would go back to the same way as adding a contact type, just clicking on it. If you don't already have it, when you go to add a contact type, you would click on other and then say A. Pretty simple. And I actually just saw somebody ask about that. So I'm going to do a very quick demo of that. I don't have an A group. So let's go to edit contact, contact types. You'll see I don't have A. So I'm just going to type A. I typed it in. I hit the A. And now when I go out and look, or sorry, my brain stopped halfway through my thoughts there. Edit contact, go to contacts. You see it's not in here. So we just go A. I'm going to add on to that. There we go. A as a new contact. It tried to grab one of the other ones. That's why it gave me that issue. So 3-month pre. I'll call it that, A 3-month pre. And then you just add and save. Now, when we look here, it's there. See, that was another one for the blooper reel. I got to have one blooper every webinar. It makes things interesting. So I hope that helped. Now, you can also do your past clients as well, A, B, C, D, or whatever naming convention you want. You could have somebody who's referred you 2 or more times. So somebody who's giving you a lot of referrals and telling people, hey, check out my realtor, they were the best. You want to have them as your A. Somebody who's given you at least 1 referral, keep them in your B category, because the more you keep up to date with them, the more referrals they're going to give, and they may move up from the B category to the A category. See, they would refer if they had an opportunity, but it hasn't come up. So you keep them there so you can keep contacting them just in case you can move them up. D, we all have that one person that we just, it was an interesting experience. Let's put it that way. You would put them down at the bottom in the D category so you could still maintain a contact relationship with them, but you're not going to be contacting them as often. It does help because, you know, even if you did have a difficult time, but as long as you got everything done in the end and there was no major headaches or problems, the more you keep in contact and show them what's going on, they're probably going to come around and realize that you're a pretty good person. So that's one of the benefits of having the different types of categorization. Will definitely help you in the long run and keep things organized. Now, once you've got everything organized, that's when you get to use the software to take everything to the next level. Simple follow-up strategy is going to help keep building your thriving business that's already there and even make it go higher. You want to be able to have everything organized. You want to be able to make it so that when people are looking for information, you have it. And you also want to make it when you need to answer a question for a client, you have the information right there at hand. So that's when you can start using your task plans and your market snapshot and your texting to get out to more of your clients. Now, we have done a little bit of information. Bear with me a second. My throat's getting dry. Thank you. We've looked into a lot of ways, and a lot of people have also asked us, how often should you follow up? So because of that request, we decided we'd look and see, just to give some best practices. This was taken from a lot of information we've had over the years from clients, and the best thing we can get is feedback from you. Now, if anybody thinks that these are not the best ones, or if you have better suggestions, please let us know. Share them with your fellow realtors. We can get you all taken care of. So, new leads. Send an automated text or email right away. After you connect, keep in touch with a market report for their area of interest. So you want new leads really active. You want to let them know right away that you're there. Active clients as often as needed. New listing, price change, sold, alerts to buyers are good things to have. And also making sure you let the sellers know how their listing is performing. If there's something that needs to be done, they need to get it done quickly to get that listing done. Past clients, quarterly updates are really good. That way you're not bombarding them, but at the same time, you're also there. They'll know you. They'll get that message every quarter and go, oh yeah, they really helped me out and they were great. And that could result in a referral if somebody happens to be looking that's in their sphere of influence. And speaking of sphere, that word always trips me. You want to check in about once every quarter. This way you're just making sure that they know what's going on, make sure they know you're still there to help them, and maintain that relationship. We want to make sure that the future is there, and we all know that the turnaround time for living in a specific house The last time I looked at a stat, it was 7 to 10 years, and then they move on. I'm sure a lot of you could tell stories of how you've helped families that are just new, just like a brand new family, and then they started having additions to the family, so they had to update, and then they would have empty nest syndrome as the kids got older and moved out, and the parents would need to downgrade. But now while you're doing the downgrade for the parents, you're helping the kids get their houses. So I mean, it's a great way, just keeping in touch with people. You're going to be able to help them in every stage of their life and every part of their life. Now, we've mentioned a couple of these. In your CRM, you've got a lot of ways to automate your client follow-up. I'm still going to maintain one of my favorites, and the one that I always show newer agents is the follow-up coach. $1,500 in a year if you work 300 days out of the year. Again, I'm going to go back to the fact that nobody that I know of goes just 300 days of the year. You guys are amazing with how much work you do and how much you put in. I've had a couple of realtor friends and I saw what they did and I just can't believe it. So yeah, follow-up coach, you're going to be keeping up with a lot of people just by using that. 5 a day. You can even refresh it and do as many as you want a day. So let's just say you have a day where you're not feeling 100%, but you're able to at least sit up and get to the computer. Go ahead and go through the follow-up coach. You could do 50 in a day, or depending on how you're feeling. The follow-up reminders. This is something in Top Producer X, which I'm going to go back in. You'll notice up here at the top, you have a follow-up reminder. I could click over here to select all 4 of these. Actually, let's not do all 4. Let's just have anybody who's assigned to me in this category a follow-up reminder every 10 days. This is going to tell me in 10 days to follow up with these people. So hopefully that's going to help. That's going to keep me, who you can see, well, not bad. This group is only 7 days, and means I obviously just did some testing recently, last week to be exact. So I'm not that bad, but in a couple of days, I'm going to be told, hey, you need to follow up with these folks. So that's always going to help out with that. Your market snapshot reports. These things go out, scour your MLS, and look for the criteria you've set up for the client. And it'll send them an email every quarter, half a year, yearly, or even every 2 weeks if you want. You can get the information to that contact where it'll be right in front of them when they're ready and when they want to have it. And this could also be a deciding factor on whether or not they're looking to follow up or not. Sorry, looking to move or something. I mean, a well-timed market snapshot with the actual information of what's going on in the area could be the key to see if somebody's ready to make a transaction. And finally, on this one, the task plans. You create a task plan, you set it up, you're sending out emails, you have texts, and you're able to use drip campaigns, which we all know you're familiar with, to send out the information they need in a timely fashion in a medium that's easy for them to get. You can send it via email, you can send it via text. People will see this and they'll remember, once again, you're the agent that helped them. If they're not ready to buy and sell now, when that time comes, because of the fact that you've been following up with them, you are able to show them that you are there, you're going to help, and you're going to be with them through the long haul, since you're following up with them even while they weren't working with you. So just a couple of little things that'll help out and get you going. So now that I've gotten to the end of my slideshow, and I've already taken up 40 minutes of your time, let me see if I can find all the questions, which thank you for Christine. She gave me a list here. Jean asked, can you start an email and then store it in draft? Jean, I have not actually done that. That's a very good question. Let me just, oops, go back. I'm going to start an email. I would say at this time, that is not an option. That is going to be something that would be a really good suggestion to give to our team. I know that it was in 8i in the past that we did have the drafts folder. So maybe give that as a suggestion. Again, we're making this software the best we can for you, and your suggestions are what help. Bob asks, if we set up sync, will the software recognize duplicates? Okay, Bob and everybody else, the best way to answer this question. If you are concerned about duplicates, by far the first and foremost thing to do is to get all of your contacts in one place and verify it in, say, a CSV beforehand. Make sure there's nothing in there, and then import that CSV. This is important because if a contact, or even if your past clients will also apply to this, if the contact is within Top Producer X, and then you connect the synchronization, that is when it does the duplicate check. So if you're synchronizing from your Gmail and you've already got contacts within Top Producer X, it will compare the contacts in Gmail with what's already in Top Producer X. And just if it's already in there, it will just connect that synchronization and make sure they're both up to date. Now, if you were to do the synchronization first and then drop a CSV in after that does have some of the same contacts, it's not as smart because it's a direct forced drop in or import. That usually means that the system is like, okay, this is designed to go in this way. Now we are working on a new way to do duplicates and a new way to check it and trying to make that smarter. So for now, my recommendation is if you have a CSV or even an Excel file that can be turned into a CSV or numbers that can be turned into, it's best to import that first and then go to your synchronization. And now I'm going to look at, Dennis, is there a way to use a subcategory for a contact? Example, if you have a contact engaged, can you rate them within the engaged group, such as hot, warm, cold, etc.? Dennis, the best way to answer that question. So I'll go over to this contact. Contact status is one thing. So we'll set this person as engaged. So that is now their status. Now for types, if you want to add the type of hot or warm, considering I'm looking forward to winter, I'm going to put cold. I can set that in. And we'll just give this a second to save. You'll notice it says cold here. So that right there tells you that you have both an engaged person, but they're a cold reference or cold contact. I swear sometimes my brain stops mid-thought. So that would help with that. I hope that makes a little bit more sense and helps you out with that one. Let me see here. I'm going to look to see what... So Cindy asked, what about if you have years of past follow-up? How do you erase to start current? Keep in mind what you have going through Top Producer 8i. If it's completed and done, it just stays in 8i. I would start up again in X. Now, they don't go side by side, or they can go out side by side, but they don't show up in both systems. Your task plans within X are separate from the action plans in 8i. That's the words I was looking for. So if you've done years of follow-up in 8i, you can leave that over there and start over in X. That's the best way to put it. As far as I know, and we're not planning to get rid of 8i anytime soon, so you'll still be able to see that follow-up. This way you could actually start anew. All that stuff will still be there. You'll still have the history of all the contact you've done, but you'll have a chance to create new ways to contact people and new ways to work with them. Let's see. I have a couple of anonymous requests of how can I add additional specific search criteria and buyer preferences, city, number of bedrooms, etc. That's the type of thing that we need to know that would be coming up in an advanced search. I have Erica has a couple of questions. So on market snapshot, if you have then set up for alerts for just listed price changes or just sold, do those alerts go out daily? Erica, you can actually set those up to go daily or as they happen. If it's a contact, or if it's a contact that is very motivated and they need to know exactly what's happening every time, you would want to go into that market snapshot. I hope I have one. I don't. I'll just go to my market snapshot settings. You'll notice you have a chance here, a summary once a day or in real time. Keep in mind, if you have a very hot market, real time could send somebody up to 100 emails a day. And I've actually had to help somebody stop that in the past because they were getting it. Once a day summary is the best option. Okay, she also asked, are there drip campaigns in X like there are in 8i? Absolutely. You'll notice here, I go to marketing on the left and then task plan manager. I have different types. I'll just start on all. We have just a bunch here. I can go to contact plans. These are specific just for your contacts. Lead response. One of the best things out there is our new lead response plans. You can set those up so that as soon as you get a lead from a specific vendor, it will automatically start up. It has a lot of very cool different touch points. And we have information on that. And Christine and I even did a webinar on that to show it off one day. It's pretty cool. And then you can have ones that are just specific to your transactions. So they're there. It's just like we did in 8i. It's just in a different place. And let's see. The last question from Erica, the new relationship status, they now have an X. If you use it and then try to print labels in 8i for a mailing, it generates a label for the husband and another one for the wife. So you get a duplicate. Is there a way to fix that? That is being worked on. In the past in 8i, it had a different way of adding the spouse. The problem was a lot of people mentioned to us that if the unthinkable happened and the relationship came to an end, it was very difficult to break that apart. That's why the spousal setup is, or the relationships are set up the way they are now. That's a good suggestion and a good item for us to look into. So we'll reach out to our developers. And again, whenever you have suggestions or questions, please click on feedback down here on the bottom. You can always get the information you need to us so that we can help you out best. Okay, Erica, my task plan manager only has a closing plan and past client after sale follow-up. Okay, Erica, on your page, if you click on add plan, browse templates, and then click in this area, you'll get to see which ones you need, and then you can pull them in. If you want to add your own and create one, just go ahead and click on add plan up in the top. So again, browse templates and just click in this search, and it'll give you some of the options of the ones we have. Hope that helps. See if I can catch up. Excuse me. Okay. I think Christine has gotten most of these up to date for us. Sorry, I'm just reading the questions to see if there's something. And Bob asked, after you sync and there are contacts that don't belong in TPX and you delete them, will delete in the host program? For me, it's Outlook. No. If you delete them in Top Producer X, they will not be deleted from your Outlook. Happily can say that. If I do a mass delete, it will delete all my contacts, not just the duplicates. I did contact. Mass delete is different. If you do select everybody, it would take all of your contacts. However, you can select specific people, but I'm going to put this out here. I always mention this with any type of deletes, be super careful, Annie. The problem is if you delete something, it's gone. So you want to be super, super diligent to make sure it's the ones you really want to delete. Otherwise, you can delete somebody important. Kenneth, can you transport contacts from other email providers other than Gmail? Yes. What you want to do is click on settings, contact sync, And when you get the opportunity, when it comes up, you can only have one at a time. Keep that in mind, but it'll ask you to log into your specific email, and then you can get those contacts. Wanda asked about sending this. Yep, Wanda, if you're still here, it will be sent to you. Oh, she already answered that. Thank you, Christine, for being awesome as always. Okay, and Jean, let me grab my contact again. I'm going to go over to this one. So I want to create a task. You have to do this with tasks, okay? So we're going to create a new task of an email. We'll go test, date, tomorrow. You'll notice right here, set a time. I can set this. Now this again will go based on the time you set in your computer or in your top producer. So for me, it's Pacific Standard Time or Pacific Daylight Time. So if I were to set this to go out at say 12:53 p.m., just because I don't want to send it in the middle of the night, it would be better. And that way, once I save it, the template, let's say I have a any template I want, I can just put that on, even set it auto or set it so that I send it myself, and then save the task. You'll see it's due tomorrow at 12:53 p.m. So again, just because that's a very important one to know, I'll do another one. And you'll notice for everything, to-dos, email, appointment, phone call, you're always going to have a time option. Just look for set a time, and that way you can organize your information. Let's say I'm going to do a call out to call my wife. I'm going to call her later today. She's out with her mom. So let's just say I want to call her, see how things are going with mom. We'll say 1 p.m. because I don't want to call. And there it tells me end time. That gives you all the information you're looking for. Doesn't repeat, and save task. And again, you can see at today at 1 o'clock, I'm supposed to make that that call. Gene, that's a good question about having a blank template so I can type as I go. Here's the thing with blank templates. Realistically, if you can have one that has the setup of the specific information you want to put, like the first name, the salutation, and even your salutation, that's not a bad idea, to be honest. Having that prepared, create as a template, add, and just name this blank prep. And like I say, put in the specific link or information you need here. Wow, I'm having a brain loss on what we call those, the merge codes. Wow, okay. Sorry about that. You want to put your merge codes in, so you could have contact primary first name. You'd have it there. You can click on first name for contact and it's there. And then you're good to go. Okay, can I search for contacts with 2 or 3 contact types simultaneously? You can, but you have to do it like this. You notice how I have that in the middle, the comma? You notice now I have buyers, and I'm also looking for testing. And I should have people in the testing. I don't have that one set up as, but it will bring up people from both of them. Cindy, the CSV list is dependent on exporting out of Top Producer 8i. And we do have information on how to do that with a good walkthrough on our campus. So when you don't have our access, going to Top Producer Campus here and export. If you type export, it's going to ask you, or it's going to show you how to export. Of course, Christine always beats me to it. You're awesome. So there you go. Now, there's something with my browser today, which is not showing the contact for being able to reach out to our support team. So if you see it, you're going to find this information here where it says chat now. Click on that and it'll bring this icon up and put the information in, and you can talk to our support team. We are always here to help you, which is one of the things I wanted to get to here on the final screenshot. Wow, I am having so much trouble with words today. Anyways, on this final screen, I hope you guys enjoy the humor of me forgetting how to speak now and then. I enjoy it, and I know Christine gets a good laugh out of it. So on this final slide, finally remembered it. We have different ways to get a hold of our customer care team if you need help. You can click chat now from within the product or on topproducer.com/campus. We are available 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, Monday to Friday. We also have an email at support@topproducer.com. Send an email into us and we'll do what we can to help you out right away or as quickly as possible. And finally, as we've just mentioned, our support site, topproducer.com/campus. If you go over to there, as you saw, you can put in specific search criteria and it'll bring you up self-help information on how to take care of it. So I have a request here from Chris Monin. I would like to take a large group of past clients and color code them. How is the best way to do this? All right, so this is going to be one of those things where you're going to want to have, Chris, if you have them in a contact type, you want to click down here where it says settings and then go to UI settings. The color coding right now is done by contact types. So you'll notice it has all the standard types plus any of the ones that you put in or create. You'll be able to add the color as you need when you need it. So hopefully that one helps you out, and that will do it. That's the only way to actually do color coding right now. Bob, contacts in 8 are already in X. So 8i contacts will be up in X. That was one of the first things. The databases do communicate with each other. Cindy, you would switch to X to do all of your follow-up, adding all of your information, sending your emails and market snapshots. The exporting capabilities will come to X. They're just not there yet. Usually exporting is if you need to use your database outside of Top Producer. Now, I do get it if you are sending it out to a mailing list. That is a little bit of a pain that we don't have that export out. We understand that pain. That's one of the reasons why it is being worked on. So I hope that helps. Right. Okay. Yeah. Sending it out to, that is a very important thing. Please click on feedback down here. Explain to our developers how important it is. I do know that it is top line. It is one of the ones that they're working on, and we will be able to get that out. So you can still do all of your updates to your contacts within Top Producer X. Nope, you won't have to update X again at all. The information is there. It won't change just because we updated to allow exports. I hope that answers that question and makes it a little bit easier to deal with. The information you're not going to have. Okay, let me see if I can get this one. Your contacts, your database, it does read between X and 8i. The information you put into X, let's say, go over to my contacts. I'm going to open up 8i. We have a couple of minutes, so I'm going to go over this one. I have this contact over here in 8i. This contact was originally created in Top Producer X. All the information that I put into here that you can see on the pages as I go through, this was created in X, so the information does come across. Now, if I were to make any updates, like edit the contact, add a contact type, and save. A lot of the things work backwards. Yes. Like this contact type, it will not be instant, but you'll notice the call that I decided to say that I had to do today, it showed up here in my top producer 8i. If I view this contact, it has the contact type. So I hope that helps you, Cindy, and makes it a little bit easier to deal with. We're still working. There's a few things that can't go backwards to 8i and can't go forwards to X. Transactions don't go both ways. So I would do transactions in X personally, only because of the fact that you're only having to do it in one place and you can get much better information directly from your MLS. But I hope that little display showing that things go from 8i and X combined, considering you saw me make a new contact type on one contact and then it showed up on 8i right away. So I hope that helps you and gets you to see that it'll work out for you. Does that work for you? Does that explain it a little bit better, Cindy? If not, I can definitely try again. Does anybody else have any other questions? Because I know we're at an hour now. I know a lot of you have hung in, and I really appreciate you all sticking around and hanging out with us. And I enjoyed jumping off a topic a couple of times. I know I just made Christine roll her eyes at me because I do it all the time, but I do enjoy jumping off topic every now and then to teach things out. Yes, Bob, if you do a mass delete in 8i, it will delete it in X. Sarah asked how to merge contacts in X. Coming soon. That is the duplicate, and merge is coming. I'm sorry we don't have it yet, but it is something that will be there soon. Haven't switched to X yet. I tried once, but if I do, I still have to go back to 8i to do the X. Yes. Yep. Give X a try. Make some changes on contacts and then go and look in 8i. Again, 8i, we have no plans to make it go away. We love it as well as you do. So we are going to start working on making X more compatible, but don't expect it to be a clone. We're using new technology with new capabilities. So we want to make it better than 8i was. That's a very tough task because 8i was pretty darn impressive. But hopefully X, one day we'll all look at it and go, wow, 8i was missing this. How cool that we have it now. Sarah, I'm glad I could help. David Yetman, does TPX support tags? Coming directly from Gmail or something or another account? Not yet. That's a great program suggestion. It would be great to have that come across, sir. I agree with that one on that one. That would be nice to have it so that you don't have to go in and tag it again after. And a hello to you, David. I haven't spoken to you in a while. Hope everything's going good back east. You work in this company long enough, you start getting to know people's names and work with them a lot. Hopefully a lot of you I will have a chance to work with and do work with you. So are there any other questions? Because like I said, I've taken up an hour of your time. I am very honored that you would spend that hour with me. Definitely looking to see what we can get. Okay, David, can you add a new tag? Oh, I get it. When you have them in the new status here, we don't have an actual tag for that yet. It would just show up as in the status, pipeline status. Now, if you wanted to then go in and select them all and give them a tag of new, you could do select all, tag new. There you go. Thanks, Bob. I hope I wasn't too much of a rambling man, but I do enjoy, and like I said before we started, I do get a little excited. I really, really like the direction we're going. And David, did that one answer? Yes, sir. Tag is the same as a contact type. different terminology. Some locations call it tags. We call it a contact type. Groups. It just depends on who you're using. All right. We're coming up on 1 hour and 5 minutes. I need a drink. Are there any other questions? And when I say I need a drink, I mean my coffee. 3 p.m. Atlantic? Okay, that should have been 10 to 2:30. Interesting. Not sure why I did that, David. Hopefully, but we will have a recording and we can send you the information. So if you missed half of it, I'm sorry. Don't know why it would have come through at that time. All good. You'll have a copy sent to you, my friend. 2 p.m. Eastern is Toronto. So we started at 10. It should have been 1 p.m. Eastern, 2 p.m. at 2:30 Atlantic, right? I don't know. As you've seen from the short time you've been here, my brain doesn't always work. Plus, you worked with me enough to know that that sometimes happens. Right. Okay. Thanks, David. You're getting my brain working. Cindy, we have switched to the chat and email support for a reason. We had a period there where people unfortunately were being left on hold for up to 8 hours. However, while chat was there was an availability to speak to us with less than a minute. With that in mind, the last thing we want to do is leave people holding. So we switched to the chat email support route. Now, keep in mind, if it is something that we can't fix via chat or email, we will do a call out. We have 2 levels of frontline support, which is our tier 1 and our tier 2. They both work through chat. If through the tier 2 level, we can't figure it out through chat, we will set up a phone call and reach out to you. Give our chat a try. Our team is the same team that did the phone calls before. Same knowledge, same great people. We do handle multiple chats at a time. So if you do get a little bit of slowness, that could be why. But the advantage is, again, you're getting the information you need and you can save a copy of it. So if you ever run into the same issue, you have a copy of the solution that worked for you the last time. We don't know what the future holds. You never know. We might offer it again in the future. I don't know, but possible. Our hours of operation are 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So depending what time zone you're in, Eastern time is 10:30 a.m. till 7 p.m. So that would help you out. Monday to Friday. Yes, Cindy. Michael, thank you very much for coming. Appreciate your time. Appreciate you hanging out with us. Hope you have a great day. So we are getting there again. Cindy, Monday to Friday, 7:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Hopefully we can help you. Give us a try. Our team is pretty smart. Perfect. David, coming soon. I know you've heard that from me before, my friend, but yeah, it's coming soon. Export is top line. Do we have any other questions before I let you all get back to the important thing of helping people buy and sell houses? Much as I enjoy your time, I'm sure you've got more important and better looking people to talk to. Just give it a moment. Okay, what do you think, Christine? Should we let everyone get back to their daily grind and daily work, and you and I get back to ours? Sounds good. Everybody, thank you again. It's always a pleasure to have you here with us. Hope you have a great day, and we're looking forward to seeing you at our next one. No problem, David. Thank you for coming. You will get a copy of this. Don't worry. So if you have any questions, you know where to find us. Take care, everyone. We will see you in our next webinar. Bye for now.